The flat earthers may be waning here on YouTube, but there is one place that they seem to be growing alarmingly quickly. A place where the conspiracy theorists are running riot, it seems. And that place is TikTok. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is cereal reinvented, bringing you a high protein treat that tastes like you remember from the days of Saturday morning cartoons as a kid, and you can eat it any time of the day. Magic Spoon cereals have 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net grams of carbs in each serving. They're also keto-friendly, grain-free, gluten-free and soy-free. Now, you can build your very own variety box and choose from best-selling flavours such as cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream and maple waffle flavours. Plus other awesome flavours including honey nut, blueberry muffin, birthday cake and cinnamon roll. And you can even add the cookies and cream and cocoa peanut butter flavoured cereal bars to your variety box too. Click the link below to get some Magic Spoon cereal today. You can build your very own variety box with all the flavours I've just mentioned, and you can use my code SIMANDAN at checkout for $5 off. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product it comes with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for whatever reason, they'll give you a refund, no questions asked. So click the link below or go to magicspoon.com/SimonDan and use my code SimonDan to get $5 off your order today. Also, for my Canadian and British fans, Magic Spoon also ships to Canada and the UK. Right, back to today's video, which is looking at some of the new legends of Flat Earth in the realm of TikTok. It feels like they're going for a younger audience and it may be working. So we need to snuff them out just like we did here on YouTube. I do have a TikTok account, by the way, where I'm trying to do just that. If you want to find it, just search for Simon Dan on the app. Right, let's get this going. We're going to start with the main man himself, Caleb FE, and he is discussing tides on a flat Earth.
For some reason, a lot of people are under the impression that tides make sense on the heliocentric model. They think that tides are perfectly explained. Foolproof, buddy. Why are you questioning it? Today, by the end of this 3-minute video, I'm hoping that you can question tides publicly or privately to anyone. When you go looking for the answers on Google, hopefully not, use something like Brave, DuckDuckGo, I don't know, they're probably controlled too. You'll get these answers right here. If you were to YouTube Neil deGrasse Tyson explaining tides, the priest of scientism himself explaining how tides work, you'd get this.
Now, straight away, Caleb here is having a pop at Neil deGrasse Tyson. But in actual fact, I think this is one of the best ways I've ever heard it explained.
Next thing I say may be mind-blowing to you. Okay. Okay. The tide doesn't actually come in and out. What? What happens is there is a bulge of water, 2 of them, on opposite sides of the Earth, caused by the sun and the moon. And Earth turns inside that bulge. Mm-hmm. So when we say the water rises and falls tidally, what's happening is we are rotating into the bulge and then out of the bulge.
So the bulge is already there.
It's already there.
And all we kind of do is pass through the
pass
bulge.
through.
And if you're thinking what I'm thinking, you've got to be thinking, what? No way. Please don't tell me this is the explanation. Yeah, you've got to believe in something similar to this little graphic behind me.
Yeah, Caleb didn't understand a word that Neil said there, did he? A standard response from Caleb there when he doesn't usually understand something.
Just so you fully understand, we're going to jump into fairy tale land where gravity's real. So this ball is 1/6 of the mass of this ball, so it's 1/6 of the gravitational pull.
Now, first off, the moon's mass is only about 1.2% that of Earth, not 1/6. And yes, of course, the gravitational influence of the moon at the surface is about 1/6 that of Earth, so don't be confused on the mass front. The reason for that is because obviously the moon is smaller, so you're closer to the center of gravity of the moon than you are for the Earth.
How, if it's a sixth of the gravitational pull, is it superseding the gravitational pull of the Earth at its surface, where it's supposed to be strongest, and pulling these oceans out away from it? It's honestly that simple.
Now this is true, but it's not as simple as Caleb claims. The tides are caused by tidal forces, which themselves are caused by differences in the gravitational pull of the moon at different points on Earth's surface. Now this difference in gravitational forces leads to a stretching force, or tidal force, which causes a bulge of water to form on both sides of the Earth, one facing the moon and one opposite it. The same forces occur on other moons in the solar system, on the Jupiter moon Io, for example. And these forces, they stretch the rock though, not water, because there's no water on Io. And it causes immense internal friction, meaning that Io is actually volcanic. Basically, Caleb doesn't understand the physics of tides, therefore it doesn't work in his world.
And while we're talking about water, if NASA was training here on Earth for space, don't you think they should train in vacuum chambers rather than in swimming pools? I don't know.
No, they shouldn't, because a vacuum chamber still has to take into account Earth's gravity. At least with water, you can simulate weightlessness a bit better.
The graphic I have behind me is tidal nodes. These are places on the Earth where there is zero tides. Zero. With all of the things I just showed you, do you actually think that makes any sense?
Actually, tidal nodes are where different tides cancel each other out. It doesn't mean there's no tides whatsoever.
Like, no, stop. Think about it. Go and watch Neil deGrasse Tyson say it again for me. One last thing before you go, and you should definitely check my link tree in my bio for my podcast where I expose a lot more that I can't talk about on here, but tsunamis should actually prove that the Earth is a ball, easily. The tsunami should wrap around continents like they do other continents. This is a map of a tsunami that went towards Antarctica. It was contained by the ice wall.
Tsunamis can wrap around small islands and headlands, but entire continents? I don't think so. Dear oh dear, Caleb. Right, our next TikTok comes from Mark, who thinks he's rumbled NASA regarding Pluto. Interesting.
Nothing much. Loving the flag. Now, do you know the cross, the X, is 10 in Roman numerals? That's why NASA kicked out Pluto. First it was a moon, then they called it a planet when Planet X came into sight. Now, X in 10 means 10, okay? The 10th planet. Now, if Pluto was Planet 9, they kick Pluto Planet 9 out and bring in the 10th planet and call it Planet 9 to throw us off Planet X. Now, if they left Pluto 9 in our orbit, then they would have to say we found Planet X, the 10th planet. Then everyone would have woken up and there'd be wormwoods in the sky. Ah! But they play off and try to bum screw you in a tissue box and brainwash you with stupidity, terrifying news that comes out of that TV box that people seem to think it's real. Seriously. I mean, you've got to educate yourself.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin with this one. Pluto was kicked out of what? A planet club. Planet X is 10 in X? Thanks for that. I'm sure you meant 10 in Roman numerals, but hey ho. If they leave Pluto 9 in our orbit, what the hell does that mean? Total nonsense all over. Oh, he's got another one. Do you want to see it? You do want to see it, don't you? Go on then, let's play it.
I use this as an example. If this is the top of the Earth and we're on the side of the ball, I know all aeroplanes, thank you for the hat, I know all aeroplanes from the North Pole do not fly and do nosedives down to Australia. It's impossible.
It is impossible, otherwise there'd be nosediving right through the planet.
Okay? And with the power engines of our jets that we have that fly us from Sydney to Brisbane and Perth and Cairns, them engines are not strong enough on the side of a ball in Adelaide, South Australia, to take off up to Darwin and keep going to get to the North Pole, to China.
Good old China looking after the North Pole for us.
You need a rocket to take off up like a pencil if we're on a ball. It's not gravity that seems to hold all the weight of the water that's wrapped around our Earth. If we're a ball, like, I'd really like to see a helicopter take off upside down from the bottom of our Earth. That's round. It's impossible. And if you're at the North Pole, you don't do nosedives down to the South Pole and then land on your roof.
We'll move on. Now our final TikTok comes from Deep Dive 26, who apparently is on the ISS.
Just look at this beautiful blue marble spinning in space. Flat Earth is not real, so checkmate flat earthers. I was invited on the ISS because I was making fun of NASA, so in order to silence me, they had to invite me on the ISS to admire this great, amazing view. And here we have my assistant, in case if you have a leak, he's gonna put his paw on it to cover it. Yeah, so there's no need to worry, guys. Oh, we have a second assistant right here. She doesn't have the personal protective equipment against radiation, but we're gonna see about that. So if you have any doubts now, just put them aside, because the ISS and space is what NASA says it is. I have no doubts about that.
Yeah, great joke, buddy. We all laughed at that one when it was first done about 2 years ago. And of course, we know that you made that as a way to mock us, to show us how easy it is to fake being on the ISS. But I suppose it is easy to fake that you are on the ISS looking out of a small window. You just did it. But crucially, that doesn't mean it is fake though, does it? Now, I've seen this Deep Dive 26 go live quite a lot on TikTok, asking for Globies to debate him. Almost every night he's on there. Dear, oh dear. Right, well there we go. Another interesting look at the flat earthers of TikTok there. If you enjoyed these little mini-series where we take a look at the TikTokers of flat earth, I'll carry on doing them. Let me know in the comments. Now, I was worried about these new flat earthers on TikTok, but judging by what we've seen just there, I've got nothing to worry about. So we are all done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing. We are just over 20,000 away now from the 500,000. We can get there by the end of the year. I know we can. And of course, if you did enjoy it a lot, hit that like button too. Would be very much appreciated. Thank you. Just enough time to once again thank Magic Spoon for sponsoring today. Remember, click the link in the description or go to magicspoon.com/SimanDan and use the code SimanDan for $5 off your order. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourself a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday for more tinfoil fun. See you then.